Hey, how's it going? I'm super excited to be on the call with you right now because right now, if you're on this call with me, that means you want to launch your first or your very next trading bot. And so this is the perfect call to be on because we're actually going to go over your first bot challenge, which is literally going to take you step by step through all the things you need to do to actually launch your first bot or your next bot, right? So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. And really, we're going to go over the three biggest reasons why, right, you may not be succeeding in the market right now, right? And so right now, by the end of the call, right, we're going to teach you exactly how to win in the markets, even if you have no skill, even if you have no time, even if you have no money. All of these things are going to be covered in this call right now, so that regardless of what you do today, right, you're going to learn some stuff and it's going to be awesome, right? So with that being said, number one, you have to promise me and yourself that you will use these skills on this call that I'm going to teach you for good, right? Once you make a gajillion dollars, you have to promise me that you're not going to turn into some mad scientist and take over the world. You need to go and actually be helpful to people, okay? So that's the first thing. Promise me right now that you're going to do that, and we'll be good to go. Cool. Awesome. Let's go. So number one, before we get started, I am not a math whiz, right? In fact, you can see me here. I look like a buffoon, dressed in, look at these cuff pants. It's atrocious, right? And in fact, my teachers hated me, right? And my classmates too. I was a distraction. I was absolutely useless in class. I did not get good grades. I was, a troublemaker, to say the least, right? However, that did not stop me, because I was actually able to buy my family a house in all cash in Southern California at 20 years old, right? It was a nice house too. I mean, look at it. It's pretty cool, right? I mean, I would like to live there. So with that being said, here we go, right? I want to tell you this one thing, right? These results are not normal, and they probably won't happen for everybody. But I mean, I literally went from someone who was a buffoon in class, right? Literally, like, had his pants rolled up, but his shirt tucked in, looked bad, right? Hopefully I look a little bit better now. I don't know though, right? So with that being said, I went from just a normal guy, maybe even below average, right? And then from there, I tried, me being a below average guy, right, to actually trade in the markets. And I lost 70% of my money right away, right? It was atrocious. I was so bad. I turned $7,000 at 17 into $1,300 in like a week, right? And then from there, for some reason, I became obsessed, right? And I went to my school's library room. I took a duffel bag full of books with me in a sleeping bag, and I would literally read my book night after night after night, right? Read these books night after night after night. And, after I couldn't keep my eyes open anymore, I would fall asleep on that floor, right? On the library floor. But that hard work paid off. And I eventually landed a private equity internship under a Goldman Sachs alumni. I got flown out to a bulge bracket bank in New York to study under them and to learn about their company, right? And then after that, right, I actually, was able to buy my family a house in all cash. I landed on a radio show. And one thing that's really not pictured here, and it's hard to even picture, is I actually, at 20 years old, right, this whole entire thing, I made my family over $1 million in the stock market, right? And you may be asking yourself, holy crap, how did you do that, right? Well, I'll tell you, right? The secret is in this spot right here, right? In this red square, right? This red rectangle, right? Something special happened, right? I went from, on the one hand, right, being a buffoon in class who was a distraction, who was, trouble, was someone that you probably wouldn't want your daughter going out with, just a bad guy, right? And on the right hand, right, making my family over $1 million, right, and buying my family a house in all cash, landing on a radio show, Forbes 330 scholar, a bunch of different crazy things. And it was really because of what happened in this red square, right? And you may be asking yourself, Tim, like, what happened in the red square, right? And literally it took me years, right, to go from this point to this point, right? And, with that being said, over the past, few years, I've actually been reflecting on this time and asking myself, man, what actually did happen? What was the special sauce that went into that? Because it took me years, and I don't want other people to have to go through that as well, right? So I actually synthesized it into this, the Your First Bot Challenge, right? And it literally is a 3-week program, right, that goes over strategy hacking, testing, and then actually launching your first bot and a bunch of different bonuses, right? And so with that being said, I kind of want to go over, right, because again, in this sort of package here, we're going to answer all the questions that kind of came up in this super big detail, right, in the beginning of the call that we're on right now. But I want to actually just answer the questions directly for you right now, if you don't mind, right? I promised you earlier I'm going to answer all the questions. Like, for problem number one, right? If you have no skill, right? If I were to go back and tell my 16, 17-year-old self, hey, dude, if you have no skill, trading skill, and you're struggling with that right now, and that's the reason why you're not winning, hey, dude, like, honestly, all you need to do is just go look up strategies, okay? Just go look it up, and you're going to be, blown away about what you find. It's going to be awesome, right? Number two, if you have no time, right, because you're a college student or you have a part-time job or a full-time job or, whatever, right? Or you have a family, you have a dog, you have whatever is going on in your life. Hey, listen, don't worry, right? All you need is a trading bot, right? If you have a trading bot, this thing will run 24/7 for you. You don't have to worry about, basically either having to choose your responsibilities or your financial goals, right? Trading bots will take care of it for you. Don't worry, right? After that, if you have no money, because you're a college student, you're living paycheck to paycheck, no matter what, right? If you have no money, the next thing you have to do, right, is just basically get other people to actually fund your trading for you, right? And just go look it up and find it, right? And you're going to do a great job and you're going to crush it, right? And again, literally, this is the exact formula that a bunch of different, very successful billionaire traders have actually used to be successful, right? And so with that being said, I want to actually go back to this, right? Here we go, right? You can either go and search up all those things I just mentioned, right? Or actually just do this one challenge. And by the end of it, you're going to know every single secret sauce, step by step, actually how to be successful in your bot launch, right? And so with that being said, if you want to get started right now, go ahead and click the button down below, and we can go step by step together, right? Let me stop sharing my screen and kind of get personal with you right now. If go ahead and click the link down below, right? It's a big red button on this page, right? Or the link, right? And click the link down below, and you're gonna go ahead and just have an absolute badass time, getting started on this challenge, right? You're gonna learn everything you need to know if you have no skills, right? You're gonna learn everything you need to know if you have no time, right? You're gonna learn everything you need to know to be successful in the markets if you have no money, right? All these things actually come in this package to actually propel you to scale your account, no matter where you're starting from, right? If you're an expert level trader or just a beginner, right? This is going to absolutely propel you to the next level, and I'm super excited to be a part of it with you. But I do need to tell you this: this is not going to last, forever. It's only really guaranteed until June, because this is when we're launching our platform. It's going to be awesome, right? And on top of that, we only have limited spots available, right? So if you're watching this right now, odds are we're inching closer and closer and closer to that actual limit where we cannot take any more people in. So again, with that being said, click the link down below, secure your spot right this instant, so you can go ahead and make sure that you're in this sort of next cohort of customers. And again, I cannot wait to see you on the inside. Click the link down below, and we'll go ahead and see you there. Bye-bye.